The illegal removal of children and the enabling by the appellate court in the 19th District in Florida. With no due process. Hello, welcome to Truth or Power, where we focused on the corruption in our legal system in Florida. It is time we talk about the illegal removal of children from their homes in Florida. With no due process. Is our government turning a blind eye to the illegal removal of children from their homes? If so, this is a severe failure of the justice system. Family courts are supposed to protect children while respecting the rights of parents, yet we are seeing cases where no due process is followed and children are wrongfully taken. What gives the government the right to remove the child from one parent to the other, unless there are clear signs of harm or abuse from a parent? This is a violation of constitutional rights and a systemic problem signifying corruption at every level. The Florida government must be held accountable for not addressing this ongoing injustice, and the courts need to be reformed to ensure fairness, transparency, and the protection of families. The time for change is now. When family courts in Florida remove children without due process, it violates constitutional rights and shatters families. The fact that the government appears to close its eyes to this corruption, and that judges protect one another, only perpetuates the problem. No parent should have their child taken away based on unfounded claims, and this systemic abuse demands accountability and real reform. Attorneys are supposed to serve their clients' best interests and uphold the law, but too often in these cases they put money before justice. After clients pay tens of thousands of dollars, some attorneys neglect their duty by siding with those who have more resources or connections. In effect, they prioritize the interests of judges and wealthy parties over the truth. This unethical behavior not only undermines trust in our legal system but also contributes to the ongoing corruption in family courts. When attorneys lie and withhold information, they betray the very principles of advocacy, leaving vulnerable families without a fair chance at justice. This is unacceptable and must be called out for the sake of all who rely on a truly fair legal process. It's imperative that these practices of removal be thoroughly investigated. No parent should have their rights stripped away without a fair hearing, and no judge or attorney should be above accountability. This is a call for transparency, reform, and the immediate investigation of these courts to ensure that every child and parent receives the justice and protection they deserve. The 19th District in Florida is facing serious allegations of corruption, with credible claims of child removals happening without due process. Parents are stripped of their rights based on hearsay, false claims, and bias, while the courts enable these injustices. Multiple reports suggest that the appellate courts serving this district have failed to uphold the law, often delaying cases and protecting corrupt practices. This is not just a local issue, it's a systemic failure that needs to be addressed immediately. Investigations should be launched to expose this corruption and ensure that every court, particularly in the 19th District, follows the rules of law and constitutional rights. Family court decisions shouldn't be about money or power, they should be about fairness, due process, and the well-being of children. The time is now to hold these courts accountable. No one is above the law. The 19th District Court in Florida stands out as one of the most corrupt within the state. Its practices in child removal cases are particularly egregious. Here, children are being taken from their families without proper due process. Judges in associated appellate courts routinely ignore constitutional safeguards, stripping parents of their rights based on unfounded allegations. This blatant disregard for fairness not only violates the fundamental principle that no one is above the law but also endangers the very fabric of our families. Our children deserve to be raised in a safe, nurturing environment, and parents must be given a fair opportunity to defend their rights. We must demand accountability and transparency from the 19th District Court and its appellate system. The time for change is now. If you are a victim of this crime, please share your story below. There is power in numbers.